You ever have one of those days, you know exactly what you're supposed to do, but you just don't do it? And then you're kicking yourself later. Well, what if I told you the problem isn't your trading strategy at all? It's your psychology. Today, we're going to dig into that massive mental shift, that journey from being an impulsive trader to becoming a calm, cool, professional operator.
So here's how we're going to tackle this. We've got 5 stops on this journey. First, we'll look at that ugly overtrading spiral. Then, we'll talk about what this game is really about. Hint, it's you versus you. After that, we'll get into the superpower of doing nothing. Then we'll talk about upgrading your personal operating system, and finally, we'll pull it all together and talk about how to actually become a profitable trader.
Okay, first up, let's diagnose something really painful that I think almost every trader goes through. It's this vicious cycle, this spiral that just sucks you in, and honestly, the first step to getting out is just seeing it for what it is.
So I want you to be really honest with yourself here. Does this sound familiar? You start the day, you're fresh, you've got your plan, and you tell yourself, okay, today's the day. I'm going to be patient, I'm going to be disciplined. But then, you're not. And by 4 p.m., you're not just down money, you're just sitting there drowning in this feeling of guilt and shame. Sound about right?
And that right there, that's the core of the problem. You know, losing money sucks for sure. But the real pain, the thing that really messes with your head, is that you broke a promise to yourself. You knew what to do, and you didn't do it. And that's what creates this terrible loop, because you slowly start to believe you just can't trust yourself.
All right, so that feeling of betraying yourself, that's actually the clue. It points us to this massive shift in perspective that we have to make. See, to break this cycle, you've got to understand that you're not fighting the market. You're not fighting other traders. The real battle, it's happening right between your own 2 ears.
Yeah, this means we have to completely change how we think about what we're doing. This isn't a game of predicting the future based on some squiggly lines on a chart. It's a performance sport. Think about it like you're an athlete. You're the one making the plays. And every single win, every single loss, it all comes down to the decisions you make when the pressure is on. It really is you versus you.
Here's a great way to think about it. Imagine a first-person shooter video game. The amateur trader is in the game, on the ground, getting shot at, freaking out, reacting emotionally to everything. But the professional? The professional is the person sitting on the couch, calmly holding the controller. They're detached, they're analytical, they're just operating. Okay, so once you start seeing yourself as the operator, not the character in the game, it leads you to a skill that is probably the most powerful and, honestly, the most counterintuitive thing in all of trading. It's going to feel completely wrong at first, but it's absolutely the key. Get ready for this number, because it might blow your mind. For most professional traders, up to 90% of their day is spent doing absolutely nothing. No, I'm serious. The bulk of their job isn't clicking buttons. It's sitting on their hands, watching, waiting, and actively choosing not to trade until the market gives them their exact setup.
See, we're programmed to think that doing more means achieving more. We have to completely flip that script. Inaction isn't laziness, it's a powerful, deliberate, defensive move. Every dumb trade you don't take, that's a win. Every time you stick to your plan and sit out, you're not just protecting your money, you're building up that discipline muscle. It's a huge deal.
And this is the crazy paradox of it all, right? In literally almost every other part of your life, if you want better results, you work harder. You grind, you push. You try that in trading? It's a recipe for disaster. It's the weirdest thing. The less you do, the more you relax and just let the good trades come to you, the more money you're going to make.
So if the game is you versus you, and the best move is often doing nothing, it all points to one thing. Your trading performance isn't happening in a vacuum. It's a direct reflection of who you are, your habits, your discipline, your mindset, in your everyday life.
And that, right there, is the big takeaway. The problem isn't your trading plan. The problem is your personal operating system. Think of it like a computer. You can have the best software in the world, but if the OS is full of bugs and viruses, nothing's going to work right. You don't need a new indicator. You need to upgrade you.
Okay, so how do we actually do this upgrade? Here's a super practical step-by-step plan for after you're done trading for the day. Step 1, the moment you're done, get up and walk away. I mean it, don't just sit there staring at the charts. Step 2, go get a win somewhere else, something you planned beforehand, like a workout or finishing a project. This is crucial. It separates your sense of accomplishment from your trading results. And step 3, later, much later, when you're not emotional, come back and review your day. But do it like a scientist looking at data, not like a judge passing sentence on yourself.
Look, the crazy thing is, you already know what you're doing wrong. Your own trading history is screaming the lessons at you. The market is giving you constant feedback. The fastest way, and I mean the fastest way to get profitable, is to stop plugging your ears, listen to what your own experience is telling you, and finally stop repeating the same mistakes over and over again.
And that leads us to our last stop. This is the final piece of the puzzle, and it's probably the deepest one. It's about moving beyond just fixing bad habits, and instead making a conscious, deliberate choice about the identity of the trader you want to be. But before you can step into that new identity, you've got to do something first. You have to drop the baggage. Think about it. You're probably carrying this giant, heavy backpack full of all your past trading failures, and it's weighing you down every single day. You can't operate effectively in the now if you're still carrying all of that.
So what's in that backpack? It's the memory of that blown account. It's all the money you've lost. It's every stupid mistake you've ever made. And maybe the heaviest thing in there, it's the story you keep telling yourself. The story that says, I'm just not disciplined, or I can't do this. All of that, it's just weight, and it's time to let it go.
And here it is. This is the real secret. You don't magically wake up one day and find yourself a profitable trader. That's not how it works. It's a decision. It's deciding right now, in this moment, that you are going to step into the version of yourself who is already that person. You don't earn it. You decide to be it. So I want you to actually do this. Just for a second, picture that person, the trader you really want to be. How do they carry themselves? How do they feel when they sit down at the desk? What do they do after a losing trade? I bet they're calm, they're patient, they're disciplined. They just execute their plan, no drama. And that's the whole point. That person isn't some future version of you that you have to work towards for years. The power to be that person exists in the very next choice you make. The next time you think about placing an impulsive trade, the choice is yours. You can be the old you, or you can be the new you.